Altenew are releasing some new wide washi and some embossing paste. Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and it's time for another awesome Altenew release, and it's some more wide washi. I've got this really big one here is the Botanical Rhapsody, but how gorgeous is this green one, which is called Misty Meadows? Can you see? It's got like foiled gold on it, and it's really pretty. I was going to use it today, but I got distracted by this one, which is called Gold String Washi. Now, and there's also a new thin golden edge is the old one, but I just want to show you the new one, which is actually called Golden Trim. It's a goldier gold. Is there such a word? I think, if you know what I mean, it's not, it doesn't have that dull gold look, it's that real shiny gold look. But this is what I've been waiting for. I saw it at Creativation. They've got their own embossing paste, and it is so fluffy and white and light. I love it. It's gorgeous. So I'm going to have a bit of a play with that first. And I'm working on the front of a card. Now this is a top fold card, and it's the 110 pound, so it's quite a heavyweight cardstock. And I'm adding a light layer of the embossing paste just in that bottom left corner, because I'm going to sort of cut my card a bit weird. And that'll come a bit later on. And what I like to do is actually just pop the embossing paste down with my palette knife and then scrape all the way across the top to make sure it's nice and flat. And then any that sort of gets left over on my palette knife, I can just smush back into the jar. And whenever I use my stencils, so this is the beveled squares stencil, I always wash them off, and I wash my palette knife off, and any mats or craft sheets that I'm using, I wash them off straight away. It does make it much easier. So I do have a second card to share today, but this one I'm just going to show you the embossing paste. I thought I'd give it a try mixing it with some of the Altenew dye ink re-inkers, and this one's quite a light colour. It's a sea breeze, so I did actually have to add quite a few drops to get the colour that I want. But I'll just set both of those aside to dry, and if you want to check out the other card that I made, you will have to head to my blog, and that's where you're going to find all the details about the hop and how you can actually win along the hop. So don't forget to head through the description linked below. Is that right? The link in the description below to find out how to win. And to also see some more photos and my other card and a list of all the supplies that I've used. So I sort of stuck with the goldy theme here, and I've got one of the engraved flowers, and I've heat embossed that with the antique gold embossing powder from Altenew. And I am just using some 110 pound cardstock here so that I can get all my cardstocks matchy. So because I'm using the water brush, I'm actually not adding a lot of water with the pan, the 36. This is the pan set with all the lovely Altenew colours. And I think the pink that I've got here, the nice bright one, is called Puffy Heart. And then I'm using the, I think it's Forest Glades for the leaves. It's quite dark, so I'm being careful not to add too much water, and I didn't have any problem with the cardstock pilling, but I did set that aside to dry before I used the coordinating die cuts to actually cut that out. And I love that the die cut for this particular image does cut out the bits in between the stem and the leaves, so it looks pretty awesome. So I'm back onto my card front now that the embossing paste is dry, my flower's dry, and I've got my gorgeous gold string washi. And it's not as wide as, a couple of these are wider than the width of a card, so that leaves so many possibilities. But this one's not, this is the width that you see here is the actual width of the washi tape, and I can't remember offhand, but it's a really wide one. And I'm adhering it directly onto the inside of my card, and then just tearing off the edge just to get a bit of a ragged look down that right hand side of the washi, and it will also give me somewhere to write my sentiment. You can wrap the washi tape around, but I didn't want to do that today, so I just cut it off. And the front of my card, I wanted to cut an odd angle, so I did actually just mark that with a pencil, and then I had to use my big trimmer there so I could open the card right out and fit it in to cut that portion off. And I used some scissors just to cut across the top. I've heat embossed a gold sentiment from the same engraved flowers stamp set and cut that down, and then all that's left to do here is just pop my flower up with some foam dots. And on my sentiment, I did actually have to add a couple of different layers to make sure that it sat evenly across the image. So don't forget to head over to my blog and check out the other card that I've made today, and also to like this video if you like it, and if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel and be back again to visit me here next time. Till then, happy paper crafting. Bye.